Welcome to Passport Acadiana as we kick off our Women in Business series. I'm your host, Angie Ross, Vice President of Private Banking with B1 Bank. I'm originally from Scotland. I guess everyone's wondering where my accent was from. Through my husband's job, we had the opportunity to live in Australia and then move to the United States. After 23 years in Lafayette, it's become home, which I guess for the people who live here isn't hard to understand, if you know what I mean. It's a pretty special place and the people are really amazing. Over the course of my 28 years in banking in 3 different countries, I've had the privilege of working with a diverse range of clients. I'm especially interested in talking about women in business as I've seen how women entrepreneurs and leaders bring so much to the table. However, I'm aware of the unique obstacles they often encounter, including access to funding. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Anna Olivier, owner of Jim Olivier's Home Improvement. You've been recognised as an honoree in Women Who Mean Business in 2008 and the Pillar of Acadiana in 2021. I wanted to start the conversation with a quote from your company website. Jim and Anna started the company in 1998. They wanted to serve the people of Acadiana that would afford friends and neighbours more free time, greater comfort in their home and greater security. Anna, thanks for being here today.
It's my pleasure.
Well, now that we have a little background, I kind of wanted to dive into some questions. What was the inspiration behind you and Jim setting up Jim Olivier's Home Improvement Company?
Honestly, it was a lot of what you read from our website. We knew that there were good products out there, but there was not a good service company. And so we were looking at opportunities for retirement because at the time Jim was on television. He was the commodity, if you will. And when he retired, or if something would have happened to him, that's it. So we were looking for an investment, something that we could grow and something that we could retire on. And as we were looking at a variety of different things, we did notice, because he was doing a lot of marketing for other home improvement companies and other industries, and one of the things that he noticed was service was lacking in so many companies. And he and actually, if you look even today, with the Better Business Bureau, the majority of complaints at the Better Business Bureau is on contractors, on home improvement companies and various types of contractors. So we wanted to be different. We wanted to bring to the community a quality service, honest, with good quality products, not low-end products. So we offer premier products with premium service. In fact, it took me 3 years to roll out what we call our red carpet customer experience. Went to meetings with the people that were service oriented with Disney, the Ritz-Carlton. How do they give that amazing customer experience? Because I wanted to bring that to our community. And so it took us 3 years to perfect and develop this to make sure that the customers were having the most amazing experience that was stress-free. And, because their home, that is our biggest investment. Home is our castle. This is where we should be comfortable and not frustrated. So we really pride ourselves on that, and that's very, very important to us. So that was the impetus for us. We wanted investment, and we wanted to offer incredible service to the people that we love in our community.
Wow, that's a great answer. Thank you. I mean, I guess, in banking as well, we've always, customer experience is such a big part of it. And I think that in all businesses, it really comes down to the experience at the end of the day. If you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice before starting your business, what would it be?
I would definitely invest in myself more. One of the things that I learned, never too late to learn, but much later, was when I started going to seminars and investing in learning myself about business or about strategies. It was an opportunity. I had to sit face to face with the VP of Disney, talk about how did you create this amazing experience. And so I would have invested in myself, in education and training, in things that I didn't know that you don't know what you don't know. And so until you start going to these seminars and these conferences and you meet with these experts in various industries, and you're like, oh, okay, because how would you think Disney and a home improvement company how would that relate? Well, it relates, in how you can create a customer experience. So I would definitely have started investing in my own education much sooner than I did.
That's
Yeah.
really interesting to hear.
Yeah.
It's very good. I'm kind of impressed at that, I have to say. So I just talked to a friend of mine that has run her own business for 20 years, and she told me that her biggest challenge is a work-life balance. How do you maintain a work-life balance as an entrepreneur?
It's interesting because of what I do. I really haven't had that much of a challenge. Part of the reason, and I know that a lot of people do, both men and women, have trouble with work-life balance. One of the things I think is an advantage is that I can't do what my staff does. I can't go put on a roof. I can't install a window. And those that have trouble with work-life balance are doing everything. They're the one that's maybe writing scripts, or they're the ones that's doing the selling or the installing, or they're the designer, or they're the whatever it is. They're the ones doing nails, and because I can't do it, then I have to focus then on the business side and work. So it's a blessing because I get to work on my business instead of in my business, because I can't do the in the business part. So I think that for me personally, the balance has been easier to maintain, so that there's times of stress. Of course, there's always times of stress when you're an entrepreneur. But to say that this has dominated my life, it hasn't. And I think just in my unique case, it's because I can't do the trench work, if you will, the stuff that actually the hands-on stuff.
That's an interesting statement, because I think that we're bad for not delegating. So, and in your case, you don't have a choice.
I don't have a
You're not going to
choice.
get up on the roof and do all of that.
No,
So,
they don't want me on my roof. On the roof with my nails and
yeah, you don't want
they
that.
don't want me up there.
Exactly. Can you share a particularly rewarding moment of achievement in your business journey?
You mentioned the Women Who Mean Business Award. That was took me by surprise, and I was so honored. You tend to just go day to day, doing your business, focusing on doing a good service and treating your staff well and the community well, and you really don't realize the impact that you're having, because you're just trying to be you and just trying to do a good job. And so that was a beautiful award. It was an award that, people, I don't even know how I got that award. It wasn't one of those things where, okay, everybody vote and that kind of thing. It was something that they can't, here it is. And it was such an honor. And that particular year, I actually received several. I think I had 3 or 4. I was asked to be a Steel Magnolia. I was also given an award from the Mayor's Council for the Needs of Women. And I was just blown away, because those were things that we didn't try and say, hey, vote for me, and that kind of thing. It was nothing that I generated internally or whatever. Yes, it was. So that was a huge honor, because those are some amazing women that have been honored. So to be counted in as one was mind blowing. And 2 years ago, last year, time flies, forgive me. But I was also awarded the Leader in Philanthropy Award. Yes, and I was, again, just so blown away, because there's some amazing philanthropists in this community, and to say that the committee chose our company and myself, that was amazing. I was so humbled, yeah.
Great answer. What advice would you give to others who aspire to start their own business? Do you have mentors that guided you?
Mentor is a really good word. I have a lot of, this is the voice of experience talking, okay? And I love to mentor women. I've had the opportunity to mentor several women, and there's a lot of really good things. A lot of people have really good ideas, but they don't have the business knowledge. So you need a business mentor. When you're starting your business, you need to know numbers. And if you're not a numbers person, you need to get a partner, somebody that can help you with numbers. You need to know who your customer is. And it can't be everybody, because everybody is not your customer. You have to narrow it down. You have to create like an avatar of who your perfect customer is. You need to know what key performance indicators you're going to have to know. Is my business successful or not? Customer acquisition cost. So these are a lot of numbers that people just say, oh no, but I just have this wonderful product or a wonderful service that I want to do. Yes, but you have to know, how are you going to get them? Where are they? How will you know that you're being successful? What are your profit margins going to be? You have to make money to stay in business, because if you're in business, then you're not a nonprofit, or you're not a charity.
Yes.
Unless you want to do that, then that's great. But if you're there to have a business, you have to know your numbers. You have to know, what is it, your actual costs, the cost of your materials, the cost of your labor, whether it's your own personal time, because if you're the one performing the service, what is that time? If you're charging $50 an hour, you're not making $50 an hour, because you've got expenses, you've got products, maybe you've got rent, you've got insurance, you've got all these things, and at the end of the day, you may be making $5 an hour, but you think you're making 50. So it's very important. Numbers, and yes, get a mentor. Definitely get someone who is successful in business, that they can guide you, because no matter what the industry is, the concepts, the business concepts are the same, and they're applicable, whether it's Disney, roofing, windows, a nail salon, a hair salon, an art studio. It's the principles, the business principles are all the same.
That's probably why so many business fail,
Yes.
because they don't really know what they're doing.
No, they don't know.
Especially with numbers.
Numbers, yes. It'll be the demise of, you may have the best product, the best invention, or the best service, but if you don't know your numbers,
it's not going to work.
It won't, unfortunately.
As a woman, how have you approached the financial side? Did you ever feel like an outsider who was not taken seriously?
I have. I am a woman in a male-dominated industry.
For sure.
Have they not taken me seriously financially? I don't think I've ever had issues with getting any kind of resources financially. That hasn't been an issue. But what has been an issue is getting business, or thinking that actually, because I'm in a male-dominated industry, that they think, and I'm a girly girl. They have underestimated me many, many times, to their chagrin, I must say. But you know what? I'm not a victim. And I realize that this is a male-dominated industry, and I've told other women in this industry, we don't need to try and be a man. We don't try to need to compete as a man. You be you. You be a woman. You bring that feminine side, and I think that feminine side brings that service side, brings the honest side. Not that men are not, but we tend to be more the feeling person, and we can bring that sensitivity to that customer experience that perhaps someone else doesn't even think about. We bring the aesthetic, we bring the beauty. It's interesting. I will go to all of our manufacturing plants, and I know the presidents. I have their cell phone numbers, so if there's issues with our products, I got the button I can press and call the man that can get something done for our customers if it gets to that point. So many times I've gone to those plants and I'm looking at their products, and while it's a good quality product, because I always vet everything that we do personally, is I'll look at that and I'll go, you don't have a woman on your team, because it's not aesthetically pleasing. And so this is, you're going to put this on. I wouldn't put it on my house. I'm not going to put it on your house, right?
Yes.
And so I have told them, you need to bring a woman in, because it's not pretty. It's functional, it's solid, but it isn't pretty. So I look for functional, solid, quality, and aesthetically pleasing.
That's an interesting comment. I like that, because sometimes we need a woman's touch, I guess.
We do. Well, especially when it's your home. Women build their nest, and this is the place, and we want our family to be comfortable. We want our family to be safe, and those things are important to me. So I figure that they're important to our homeowners, whether they're male or female.
Absolutely. Can you share any initiatives your business is involved in to give back to the community?
Yes. Yes. And we do appreciate the community support, because we can't give back if we're not blessed, if we're not getting business. We are involved in many initiatives. We do sponsor Tools for Schools with KTC, where we actually give back to the schools we supply. In fact, I've got the most beautiful, we posted it on our Facebook page, big old giant cardboard card from Acadian Middle School for the eclipse that happened just recently. They asked for eclipse glasses, like 400 of them. So we gave them eclipse glasses so that they could go out there and watch the eclipse, which, how often does this happen? And so these students had their science lesson, a hands-on activity. I mean, how cool, like even as adults, right? We were out there going, want to see the eclipse.
Yes.
And so that was such a blessing. And they hand wrote all the students signed a little card, and they wrote a poem. It was beautiful. So anyway, we give the tools for schools. We also do something called Veterans Voices, where we sponsor highlight veterans with KLFY. And then we also partner with Owens Corning to do, it's called Roof Deployment. With the Roof Deployment program, we give a free roof to a veteran, to a needy veteran, and it's at no charge. And we did the very first roof deployment roof in Louisiana. I gave it to a gentleman, thank you. We were very proud of a gentleman in New Iberia. So we're getting ready to do our third veterans roof to a gentleman in Carencro. Probably in the next couple of months, we'll be doing that. So we do that. And then I've also done Windows for Widows because being a widow myself, we have done where we'll, take nominations and then we'll redo her whole home with windows. So we love to give back. And we love to sponsor things that reach a variety of members in our community, and even the underlooked, sometimes underserved people in our community. So we love that. Yes.
That's interesting.
We're very proud.
So on some of those charities and some of the people you work with, how did that come about?
We actually look for ways, and I've got a million ideas of more things that we can do. My team is always going, stop. They just come about through opportunity, because we're looking. We want to sponsor things that make an impact into the community. I mean, the children, oh my goodness, that is our future, and so to be able to give back to them, we've had such heart-touching, heart-wrenching stories, because unfortunately sometimes our schools don't have what they need. And we had one particular school that the students wrote in and asked for a stapler, pens, red pens for their teacher, because and the teacher was very, very soft-spoken, and they wanted like a megaphone or a microphone because they couldn't hear her. And we were like, you want a stapler? We just, and it just was so, it touched our hearts so much. And so we gave them all kinds of stuff. Basic school supplies. They were actually at the end of the hall. And so, the end hall, you're the coldest in the winter and the hottest in the summer. And so we got them some little fans and all the other things. And the students it was an 8th grade middle school, and the students that had actually wrote in to nominate their classroom, their teacher, walked us out, and we were, I just wanted to get my own checkbook out going, oh my goodness, these kids, because we were like thanking them for writing in, and they said, they said, we want out of poverty.
Oh, that's a sad statement.
I was like, yeah. And so they wanted the tools needed to get out of poverty. And that just
broke your heart.
It makes you just get up in the morning. Let's do it again. We're going to do it again. We're going to do what it takes to make this happen, to give back to those students so that they can be successful, productive members of our community. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. That's life-changing.
That is life-changing for sure. Oh my goodness. Behind every successful entrepreneur is a great team. Can you tell me about the amazing individuals who make up your team and what makes them so special?
Oh, we are so blessed. We are God is so good. I have to give God all the credit. Yes, I cannot do this. Like I said, I'm not out there putting in the doors. I'm not putting in the windows or the roofs. So I have been very, very blessed with an amazing team of skilled craftsmen. And I will say, in business and in life, you attract who you are.
That's true.
So, if someone does not walk in integrity and does not walk with honesty, they do not walk with me. And so, the people that come in, and the interesting thing is those who walk with integrity and walk with honesty don't want to walk with a dishonest person or someone that is not a man or woman of their word. And so the people that have come in and not, there have been people that they've come and gone, some longer times and some shorter times, because I have zero tolerance for crossing our boundaries. But then that tells those that are wanting to walk in integrity that yes, it encourages them. So I have an amazing team of very experienced craftsmen, and they're not carpenters; they are skilled craftsmen. And they have just come in, and we have longevity. I believe that our team is just as much our customer. We're each other's customer just as much as the community is our customer. So we work very hard on treating each other. One of our core values is to honor each other, honor God, honor ourselves, and honor each other. Because if I dishonor you, I dishonor myself and I dishonor God. We hold to those core values, and they stay with us because we treat them well. We don't mistreat them. We pay them well, we honor them, and so they stay. Because in the construction industry, it's usually a revolving door of people, and I have people that worked with us until the day they died. I've had people that have worked with us for 15, 20 years. That's amazing in our industry, but I believe it's because we treat them well, we respect them, and we honor them.
How many people do you have in your company?
I have two companies in two locations. I have Jim Olivier's Home Improvement, and then I have Roofing Louisiana, and then we have a location here in town in Lafayette. And then a year ago, the Lord led me to open up at a location in Alexandria. So we have an office there. So I'd have to go down and count, but I think we probably have around 18 team members. Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. That's great. Your business has achieved significant success. What do you attribute this success to?
I have to first and foremost give God all the credit. When Jim and I started this business, we are people of faith, and we dedicated this business to the Lord. And so we put him first in everything we do. He is listed in our core values. He has given us a mission. He is in our mission statement. And so I give all the honor and the glory to him. All of our success comes from him. Yet, you can't just say, okay, God, this is you, I trust you, and then sit back on the sofa and eat bonbons and watch TV. You have to put your hand to the plow. So I attribute the fact that, besides trusting him in everything we do, seeking his guidance in everything that we do, is also putting our hand to the plow. We've worked hard over the years, treating people right, tweaking our systems and our processes. Did this work. Before Jim was in television, I was in nursing. I was an RN in my background, and I worked in upper hospital management for almost 17 years. And so I brought those qualities, because in healthcare, you can't make mistakes.
No.
No. And so I brought the things that I learned there on how, but you know what? People are not perfect, right? So I brought the things that I learned there into this business, to where we have a program called Zero Defects. Anytime that there's an error that happens, we look at what's the root cause analysis, and then we fix that system. Something broke in our system. So we have systems, we have standard operating procedures, we have guidelines, we have all those things, and then we look and see, where did it go wrong? And then and then I look, there's always a cause. Is it a lack of knowledge and training? We do a lot of training. Every week we are training. Is it a lack of knowledge? Was it a lack of tool? Maybe we didn't have the right tool or the right material. Was it a human error? Or was it a system error? So we try to, and then we make that tweak, always tweaking to get better. I think I probably won't get this quote right, but there's something to the effect of the greatest hindrance to greatness is good. We want to be great, and we go from greater to greater.
Well, I think from our conversation so far, and I know how passionate you are about your business. I mean, that's evident in every question that you've answered. But I mean, do you ever see yourself, I guess, maybe passing the company on to a family member, or, is retirement in the, any time in the future? I mean, it just sounds like you're so passionate. I just can't even imagine you being ready to step down.
No, retirement is not in my future. While I'm getting more mature, I what would I do? We do have a challenge and a charge, as we do have a mission that we will continue to expand. So continued expansion. Alexandria was our first expansion, and that is going really well. And we do have plans for continued expansion because I don't have to be up on the roof and putting in the doors. My I do the marketing and the commercials and those kinds of things. I don't see retirement is not anytime soon. Although we talk about it because at some point, but then at what point, I don't know. Uh, but there are some plans for, obviously we do have to think about that, but it's
Well, I
not
guess
anytime soon.
this question leads in, this next question probably leads into just what we talked about. But looking ahead, what does the future hold? What are your goals and aspirations?
So our goals and aspirations is that we will be multi-location, multi-state.
That's wonderful. Have you got a vision on the next state that you're going to move into?
Yes. We know the next area that we're moving into. We have a map. We have a vision board. That is something that's very important too as an entrepreneur, is that you got to know where you're going.
Yes.
You got to have. I'm not a big goal person, other than big goals, but like to say, I know we should be doing goals. It's not one of my strong points, but we do have things like we want. A simple example: as we were growing, I wanted to have a company van that they could carry, a large van with, because we had trucks, but we needed like a big van that we could stock and do all these things, and so, but we needed the resources to do it. And so we printed one off, and we put our logo on it, and it was posted. It was posted on my computer, and I'd look at it all the time. It's like, we're going to be able to do this, and so to have that vision. So right now we actually we have a vision for a vehicle that is in the air, and we've got that posted all over, because we know that we will be multi-state, multi-location, and we will need to get there other than through ground transportation. So
Wow.
people can laugh all they want, but when we got that, when that, we've even talked about pilots and getting pilot license and planning for those things. Yeah, so you've got to have a vision. You've got to have something that's bigger than you.
Oh, I'd love to
A
hear
purpose
that.
bigger than you and a vision bigger than you.
Well, I think it's been really interesting through our conversation that, okay, so you in the home improvement and myself in banking, but so much that you've said rings true to all industries. And so, the customer experience is so, everything that you aspire to, even in banking. So I think that's interesting to hear that even though they're completely different industries, so much of it is so really similar.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you've got to look after your clients, your customers, otherwise you don't have any. That's it.
And then you don't exist.
Exactly.
And that, if you look again, it's going back to knowing your numbers. What is the cost of your customer acquisition cost? And it is so much easier and so much more cost effective to have repeat business and referral business, because if you give them that excellent, no matter what industry, because you're right, business principles are business principles no matter what you do, and if you treat them right, they're going to come back and they're going to tell their friends, because I think, what do they say, if you have a negative experience, you tell like 10 people, and then this is pre-social media, so Lord knows, because it's out there.
True.
But if you had a positive experience, you might tell one or two people. So it's so important to have that superior excellence in your customer service, so that they'll talk about it, and they'll even put it on social media. Because some businesses have been destroyed on social media because of a
believe
negative
that.
experience. Yeah.
I know, because people always like to say the bad things before
Yes.
they'll say the good things, unfortunately.
Yes.
That's the world that we live in. So this is the first time that I have met Anna truly, maybe once in passing. So I think it's a good time to sort of have a little bit of fun and ask her some fun questions since we just grilled her on her business. So I guess the first one, which is so relevant to the age that we live in, what is your go-to movie or TV show that you're binge watching at the moment?
So what I love is to watch movies based on true stories, and I love to watch those. I will even watch foreign films that are either dubbed over or have subtitles, and then I go and Google the person, and I read about what happened. So it's because the human story is amazing. There's so much negative news out there. There's so much negativity, and yet really it is outweighed by the positive if we look for it. So that's what I love to binge watch my free time. If I'm down, I'm gonna find something on Netflix or YouTube or something, a documentary or even if it's like B acting, maybe terrible acting, but the story's amazing.
Okay, that was not the answer that I expected, but I love it. Okay, tell us something that most people do not know about you.
I don't know that most people know that I grew up in Hawaii.
Oh, really?
I grew up in
That's so
Hawaii,
fun.
yes, and I was a pretty good body surfer. I
Really?
never learned how to surf, but I would hang with the boys in body surfing. I could take those big waves back then.
Okay, so I guess that leads me, I have to ask this question. So from Hawaii to Lafayette, Louisiana?
Yeah, it's a common question. Actually, my parents were divorced. My father's from Lafayette. My mother was born and raised in Hawaii. So,
Ah,
after the divorce, she took the kids, my sister and I, to Hawaii, and we were raised there. And then when I graduated from high school, my
mhm.
father sent me a plane ticket to come here.
Oh,
And I was very free spirited and I wanted to travel and I wanted to see the world. And in Hawaii, it's beautiful. If you've never been, you need to visit. But it's an island. And after being there all my life, going around and around the island, I'm
wow.
like, what else is out there? So I do miss the beaches and the things in Hawaii. But I love the opportunity because Hawaii is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It is far. It is 5 hour flight to California. So anyway, 5 hours. You know how far you can go from Lafayette or
Mhm.
Acadiana in 5 hours and see something totally different. So that's how I got here. Just my roots are here.
Well, that's good. So actually, I was just talking with my parents over FaceTime last night or yesterday afternoon. So they mentioned Hawaii. So before I go, I'll go and ask you where
Yes,
we need to go. Okay, what's your favorite spot to go for something to eat?
I love to eat. It depends on
Don't
what
we
we're
all?
hungry for tonight. Okay. No secret, this is
Uh-huh.
an amazing place for food, right? Acadiana, it's a killer place for food. And let's see, if I'm wanting uh, like Cajun food, boiled seafood, I love the Cajun table.
Okay.
They have really good. I love boiled crabs because you can't rush through boiled crabs. Um, Jim used to not enjoy boiled crabs because he said it was too much effort for a little bit of meat. But I love the fact that you have to slow down. You have to slow down to eat boiled crabs. If I want Greek or Lebanese food, I love baba kebab. If I also enjoy like bonefish or half shell oyster. So yeah,
I
a
love
lot
it.
of good sushi places. Every place in Acadia is good. Rachel's is really good. There's so
Rachel's,
many
yes.
yummy.
Exactly. Okay, so loaded question next. What's your favorite spot that you've traveled to?
That is a really tough one because I do thoroughly enjoy traveling. I love international travel. I really enjoyed Prague. That was an amazing trip. I have been to Scotland, and it was one of my want to go back places. Is to Scotland. Scotland, for some reason, touched my heart and made me cry. Just driving through the countryside. I think we do have a little bit of Scottish genes, a little Scottish blood.
What was your favorite spot in Scotland? What do you think had the most
We traveled,
impact?
it was a bus tour kind of thing, and we traveled. We started in London, and we traveled all the way around, made the loop of the UK,
Uh-huh.
and the countryside. I remember that's what overwhelmed me was the beauty of the countryside. And we took, I think it's a ferry we took from Scotland to Ireland.
Yes,
Yeah,
Dunbar,
we took
yes.
that. But it was just the natural beauty of it all. It was, I don't know, we could not tell what the connection was here,
No,
was
I would
making him
agree
sitting there
with you there.
crying.
Even though I'm biased, okay. The scenery is amazing for
Yes.
sure. Uh, what do you hope that those watching take away from our conversations?
I would really hope that you take away that we need to trust God in everything. Um, it all, our whole life is about him, and you know, he's so concerned about every little detail in our lives. He loves us so much. So no matter what you're doing, no matter what area of your life, that we really need to trust God in all areas of our business life, our home life, our marriage, our family, our children. So without him, we don't exist. So and life is just boring without him. You know, it's hard without him. So, you know, we always give him, we always pray at our staff meetings. Obviously, you know, I've taught Bible studies. I taught a community Bible studies. I guess one of the ways giving back personally is that I also taught a interdenominational community Bible study for 20 years that I did have to pass the torch to. Last year, when the Lord had us open an office in Alexandria, I couldn't be here teaching the
Yeah, it's too
Bible study
much.
as well. It's too much. So I did pass the torch, but you know, that's we have to have him in our lives and in your business to seek his direction, because he's got the strategy. He's got it all. Yeah.
Great answer again. Well, Anna, thank you so much for taking the time to be our first interviewee for the new series of Women in Business for Passport Acadiana. It's such a pleasure to talk to you. And to those of you out there, thank you for watching. I am Angie Ross, and I hope that you will join us next time.